outside birdie, PDJ number 95555. Just going to kind of go through what's in my bag right now. It's March 2020, and this is kind of what's in my bag. So let's start out with the putters. For my putting, inside the circle, outside the circle, I go with the guard. These are classic first runs. They're nice and stiff. They've got a deep profile to them. So they fit really nice in my hand and have really good glide. I used to have problems hitting the front of the basket a lot. It'd kind of just dive down, hit the front, and these kind of just glide right over for me. So I'm really liking these. So I always keep 2 in my bag. For my throwing putters, I've got 3 in the bag right now. First is my soft pier. I really like this one for turnover shots, and I also use it a lot for touch shots in the woods. I can throw it really soft backhand and know it's just going to hold straight the whole time, and I don't have to worry about it cutting over into a roller or fading out at all, because it just stays really straight even at low power. And it's soft plastic, so it kind of sits wherever it hits the ground, and I really like that for approach shots. My straightest putter is Machina. This is a retro plastic Machina from the Trilogy Challenge. A few years ago, I think it was 2017. It's just a really consistent, straight flying disc for me. If I need to hit a tunnel and just rip it hard, flat, at a straight, flat angle, this is what I go with. If I need an overstable putter, backhand, I really like the Cenis. This is again in that soft plastic, so it kind of just sticks to the ground wherever it hits. And I throw it flat, really hard, and it will just hold flat the whole time, and at the end of its flight, it will die down and kind of just sit wherever it hits, so I really like that. Kind of more my approach discs. These are some that I really like to throw forehand. My favorite disc is the soft harp. Yeah, if you know me at all, I always keep a few harps in my bag. This one's been in my bag for a long time. You can kind of see it's really warped. But this is a really comfortable disc in my hand. And if I'm ever in the woods or I'm in trouble, I always just kind of reach out and just throw a little flick. I can get it to hold turnover. I can throw it hard and flat, and it'll just hold flat. Up to 250 feet, it will just hold flat and not fade. So that's a really good disc to have, a beat up soft harp. I do keep a newer soft harp in the bag. This one I switch out every once in a while, just to hold the stability a little bit more. I throw it on kind of the same shots. I can throw a little bit more flex shots, so if I put it on the Anheuser angle, it will flex out a little bit, but it's still really consistent. Throw really hard, flat, it'll go straight, 230, 250, and then start to fade, whereas my other harp will just hold straight. So it's a really good complement to that one. And then kind of my overstable approach disc, this is a Nicola Castro signature BT hybrid anvil. I just got this one probably about a month ago, basically whenever they came out. And I'm really liking it for forehand approach shots, but I also throw this one backhand. With my harps, I'm not going to throw them backhand at all. It just doesn't really feel right with the soft. My thumb digs in too much. But this one feels really nice, and it's a lot more overstable than my harps. So it's a good disc to have, and I'm really liking this plastic, the BT hybrid plastic. So on to more of my mid-ranges. The only other mid-range I have is the Compass, and I've got 4 of them. And they're kind of different stages of wear and turn. This is actually my one of my older ones. It's a retro. Again, it's pretty beat up, so it will actually hold the turnover for me. Compass is usually a pretty straight disc, so that's kind of why I like it. I can have different plastics, and the feel will always be the same, but I can make it do different things. So this is my slightly understable one, or hyzer flip in the woods, and it just holds straight. This is the step up from that. Again, it's a retro Compass. I can rip on this one a little bit more, and it'll just hold straight on a flat release, whereas that one will turn over if I release it flat. So this is a good complement to it, and it'll just hold. If the wind picks up and I need a hyzer flip, this is the one I'm going with. And I got a gold line compass with our Bluffside Birdie stamp. Really liking that. Looks really good. But this is my slightly overstable compass. So if the wind picks up even a little bit more and I want to throw that straight shot, I can throw it flat, hard, and if the wind's up, it'll just fall flat. Calm days, it will hyzer out for me, so it's a real consistent disc for me. I also like to throw it on hyzer lines, and it will kind of just forward penetration instead of dumping out, and it will kind of get me more distance while still holding the hyzer. So I really like that. And then a recent addition to my bag is the Opto-X compass. This thing is a lot more overstable than my other compasses I have, and I'm really liking it. So basically, I'm throwing this if I need to kind of what a verdict would do, or something like an overstable mid-range. That's what this is for me. I don't need overstable discs. I do have the anvil if it gets really, I guess down there, the anvil if it gets really windy, but this will hold up into most winds and it won't turn over at all. I don't have to worry about it turning and rolling or anything. It's just going to hold straight and then fade. So I'm really liking this one so far. So let's go into the fairways. I'd say my favorite backhand fairway is the Explorer. I got 3 of them in the bag right now. This is a Bluffside Birdie stamp one again, Opto, but it's lighter weight. It's 168. So for me, this one gets a really nice turn. I can release it on a hyzer. It'll pop up flat and get a little bit of turn and then maybe finish flat. Or I can put it on the anhyzer angle and it'll just hold the whole time. So I don't really need an understable fairway disc because this Explorer can do it for me. The step up from that one is my gold line. This one's been in the bag quite a while, but it's still super straight for me. I can rip it flat, and it'll just hold flat, finish flat. You can kind of see a theme with my discs. I like them really straight and finish straight. I don't like discs that hyzer out a bunch or that are understable. They're just not confident for me. So this is another disc that's really straight, flat, and ends straight. Slightly overstable version of it, I have an Opto-X Chameleon one. This is just flat and hyzers. Just slightly more overstable than that one. So it's a good complement when the wind comes out or if I want to throw the hyzer shot. I do throw this one kind of on some spike hyzer lines just to get more distance with the spike hyzer. So I'm actually liking this one for that fairway distance, 300, 330 distance. And then the last backhand fairway that I throw is Getaway. This is a first run Getaway. I'm liking it so far. I just put it in the bag probably a couple months ago, but it's an overstable complement to my Explorers, and it's a little bit longer. It's a little bit faster disc. I think it's a 9 or a 10 speed, where the Explorer's a 7. So it just gets a little bit more distance and it fades a little bit more. So if that's what the shot calls for, this is what I'm reaching, the Getaway. So for my forehand fairways, I don't throw a lot of my straight disc forehand. I have a decent amount of snap on my shot. Sometimes it gets a little inconsistent, so I don't like throwing too many straight discs. But this is one of the straightest discs that I like to throw forehand. If I'm throwing a forehand in the woods and I need to tunnel or I need to hyzer flip and turn it over late, this is what I'm going with, the Zion from Latitude 64. This is a first run one. I've got a few of these at home and I'm really liking the first run ones. I have a few of the other ones, but they're a little bit more understable. This one just kind of fits that right slot for me. I can hyzer flip it up, hold straight. So it's really good in the woods. And then my 2 most consistent forehand fairway drivers are the Pioneer. I have 2 of them in the bag right now. This is my oldest one. It's a 171. so I can actually get a little bit of turn on this, and it will hold straighter longer than my other one. So I can get some really solid distance with this, up over 350, even with this Pioneer. So I like to just throw it hard, flat, low, just hold, and at the very end, kind of hyzer out. So then I have this Explorer, or Pioneer. This a little bit heavier, and it fights the wind a little bit more. It's also a little bit newer, so it's not beaten up at all. But this is my flex shot forehand, or if I really needed to dump out of the air. If my white one just carries too far sometimes, and I need a disc to dump faster, this is what I'm going with. Okay, on to distance drivers. I've got 4 Ballista Pros in my bag. Let's start with the most understable one. I have this Bluffside Birdie one. It's lightweight, a little bit, 169. But this is my first Bluffside Birdie Ballista Pro I got. And for me, it's just a really good turnover disc. If I release it flat, it will turn over and then just land flat at the end. It doesn't really fade out unless I get it really high in the air. So it's a really good disc for me. I don't like to throw a lot of understable stuff, so this is a generally overstable disc that I'm beating up to hold the line, so I can trust it a little bit more than something flippy. But yeah, I like it hyzer flip, and I can get some really good distance out of this one. The next step up from that one is my red Ballista Pro. This one is a little bit more overstable than that one, but it's not overstable. It's just really straight, and I can release it flat. I know it's going to get a little bit of turn on it, but I know it's always going to fight out. So I really like that for max distance shots. I can also put this one on anhyzer, hold, and then fight out at the end and get really far. So yeah, this is my furthest flying disc in my bag right now. Next up is the another Opto one. This one's a little bit heavier, 173, and it's got a good pop top to it. So it's a little bit more overstable, a little bit more glide to it. So I like this one just for flat shots that will hyzer out at the end, and I really like it for like spike hyzer shots or big hyzers, because it will hold the line and it will carry forward instead of dumping out. So it gets really good distance on the hyzer shots. If I do want it to dump out, I'm going to go with this Goldline Ballista Pro. Again, it's got the pop top to it, so it's pretty overstable. But I really like this one for those hyzer shots again, but it dumps out a little bit quicker and gets to the ground and gets more left than maybe that one will. And it usually gets a pretty big skip when it hits the ground. So I really like this one from the overstable one, and it's my wind fighter for backhand too. And then my last 2 discs in the bag are my Raiders. I really like these forehand. They just kind of fit my grip a little bit better than the Ballista Pro. I got this Fusion one that's pretty straight for me. I can rip it flat, hold flat the whole time. Might get a little turn, but then it'll always fade at the end. So it's kind of my max distance forehand disc for me. And then the kind of step up from that is my Lucid Raider. This one's pretty overstable. I haven't had it very long, maybe a couple months, but with Wisconsin snow, I didn't throw it all winter, so it's pretty new. So it's pretty overstable. I like it for forehand shots that I need to finish pretty hard, but get more distance than my Pioneers. I usually don't use my Raiders as much because I don't need to get max distance with my forehands. So I'm usually going with my Pioneers, but if I need a little bit more distance, I'm going to go up to the Raider. And I will also throw this one backhand if my Goldline Ballista Pro is not quite overstable enough or the wind's really ripping. I will throw this one backhand and just kind of depend on it for that overstability. So I'm really liking the Raider. So that's all the discs in my bag. I guess I'll kind of go through the other stuff in my bag. I like I have a pound bag. I really like it. Super lightweight, and it holds a lot of discs, holds a lot of stuff. It's got a lot of pockets for it. I keep my mini up in this little pocket. Got a little Bluffside Birdie mini up in there. I got a couple like bag tags. Brooke made me this one. She wood burned a basket, like a PDGA number on it. I got a scorecard. It's a reusable one just in case we don't have one and we want to keep score. And then I have a Bluffside Birdie bag tag on there. Other random stuff in my pockets. Got a towel, a chalk bag. I like to use these a lot in the summer. Hands get real sweaty, so these are really nice to have. Keep good grip on the disc. A couple more minis. Always like to keep some golf balls in there in case you get something stuck in a tree. Just chuck these at it and hopefully hit the disc out. Clipboard, rule book. And I like to keep it in a bag so it doesn't get wet. This side pouch, a lot more towels. This is my main spot for my chalk bags. I keep them in like a climber's chalk bag, and it really keeps this separate from my bag, so my bag doesn't get all dirty, and this is the only thing that does. So I really like that. Then I got some bug spray, some like absorbing junior in there for the gnats. Anything on this side? Another couple towels. I got backup pencils and Sharpie in case you got to mark your disc. Yeah, so that's basically everything that's in my bag. Thank you for watching. I hope you like seeing what's in my bag. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. You can message me directly or just message Bluffside Birdie. I'll get it anyway. So yeah, if you guys have any questions or any ideas for any future videos that we can do, we're kind of just starting out our YouTube channel, so we're kind of looking for some ideas. It's really exciting. Hopefully it gets a little bit warmer out. It's still in the 30s here in Wisconsin, but at least it's not super windy, so it's not super cold. But yeah, so we're just kind of looking forward to summer, warm weather, making more videos, and hopefully everybody likes them. So thank you for watching. Make sure you check out our other social medias and kind of follow us on there. We're posting stuff every week. So yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching.